Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Wholistic Conversations. I'm your host, Brittany, and I have created this space to help you become the best version of yourself. So if you're someone who's interested in self-discovery or personal growth, you're in the right place. So welcome. And join me every week as I release new episodes, bringing on different guests to share their inspiring journey that will empower you to take the next step. So help me and welcome me, Shariya Wise.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so
Yes.
grateful to be here.
Yes, and I'm so thankful that you are here.
Yes. Thank you
We
for
were
giving
talking. We were talking back before the episode started, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. And it's like, wow. So
Yeah.
alignment is definitely here, right?
For sure.
One of the things I want to jump right into the conversation, and I want to start with, you mentioned this idea of heaven being on earth, that like we can create heaven.
Yeah.
So where did that philosophy come from?
You know, there was a time where I really didn't feel my best. I felt like kind of depressed all the time. But see, I didn't realize I was depressed because that was my norm, right? That was like my default state of being. And I had moments where I would, for example, I would see angel numbers, 22, 22, 22 all the time, and it didn't make sense to me, right? And so that got me to do a deep dive of to like what I was experiencing. And so me doing this deep dive, it brought my awareness to high vibrational creators. The first creator that I've ever was inspired by was Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. And that brought me to the idea that, hold up, maybe I don't have to settle for a lower vibration. Maybe I don't have to settle for, anxiety all the time. I don't have to settle for low self-esteem. I don't have to settle for being sad all the time. I don't want to be a sad girl, And so it offered me the awareness that there's more to be experienced. And so I decided to learn that. And over the years, I realized that heaven is a perception. And, we experience heaven on earth because we perceive heaven on earth. And it takes a lot of I call it like subconscious marketing, because you always have to like give yourself these mindfulness practices daily,
Right.
to like reprogram your mind so that you can actually perceive the heaven that is here if you choose to perceive it. So, yeah.
And I think that was beautifully said. We're always on the journey to unlearn and relearn, right? And it brings me to a point in life right now where I was, my seatbelt wasn't working in my car. And it wasn't working, I would say, for about 2 months. It just, I'm calling the dealership. I'm not making my appointment. It's on me why it went so long.
Right.
But it taught me a very interesting lesson, and it allowed me to see the conditioning that my body is used to. So when I get in the car, the seatbelt, I'm automatically putting the seatbelt on.
Right.
But it's not working. So you gotta, let it go. Then you get in the car again, you do the same thing. And then at some point, I'm in this habit. I'm like, oh my God, my body is literally wanting to put the seatbelt on unconsciously,
Yeah.
right? And then as I did that for about a month, now I'm getting in the car and I don't even think about putting my seatbelt on. So now I just broke this habit. I didn't reprogram myself. So now I got my seatbelt fixed. Now I have to reprogram myself again to put my seatbelt on. So I'm like, wow,
That's mad funny.
So it just shows us that it showed me that, hey, it is possible to, like, you are programmed this way, and now you can unprogram yourself. Then you can reprogram yourself again. And I'm like, yeah, it was just very powerful.
Yeah. I feel like we have to give ourselves so much grace on the journey of reprogramming our belief systems, because we done spent decades being molded not only by the people around us, but by society to have a certain norm, to have a certain default. Our nervous system responds in a default way. Our subconscious programmings respond in a default way, And so just having a super amount of grace and consistency
Yeah.
with yourself as you choose to reprogram, and just be graceful. I be telling everybody, just be graceful. Like, you were like so molded to be this way. So
yeah. So what was one moment you had to give yourself grace in?
So many moments. Let me think of one. So for me, there was a point in time where I had really low self-esteem, but that's just because the people around me didn't really give me the examples of what high self-esteem was, what self-respect was, and things that of that nature. And so I remember specifically, I went to Virginia State University, and so this is my HBCU, and I'm seeing like a whole bunch of like Black people, and specifically Black couples that were like so happy. And it was just like the men were like the young men were treating their women so kindly. And I remember being like, damn, like how come I don't attract that kind of masculine into my life? And so I didn't know at the time, but I would like kind of try to maneuver myself in the dating phase specifically, just so that I could maybe attract a certain kind of treatment. And I wasn't attracting the treat. I didn't know at the time that I had to create an environment within myself to attract a masculine that would treat me in that loving and respectful and caring, nurturing way. And so it was a lot of trial and error for me, specifically with dating, that I had to give myself grace with. And so, you know, now that I'm so much more evolved and I'm definitely in myself, I see how like just the mindfulness and the subconscious reprogramming that I've been intentionally doing with my affirmations and, you know, my visualizations, I see how that has attracted masculine that align with what I desire. But that's because I did the work. But I had to have a lot of grace with myself because I would attract, and I'll attract a masculine, and it'll get like a millisecond or like very, very slightly better. That wasn't great grammar, but like they'll get better just a little bit. So it showed me that, okay, you are getting better because you're attracting better, but I still desired better. So I had to keep getting better.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And I believe we all been there, right? I know for me, I have seen the growth of the men I attract into my life and also within myself. And nowadays, I really do attract some really great men. So I'm like, okay, like,
right?
this is for me.
And doesn't it feel good? Because it's like, it really shows you, because life is always going to be a mirror. And so it shows you like the work that you're actively doing is working because you are attracting better. Like, it's empowering.
Yeah. And you also get put in situations, and I believe that they are tests in life to see if you really evolve into this person or are you going to be comfortable with this lower vibrational energy. So that's another thing too. I had to, you know, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm better here.
Right.
But then when I get, then the guy I end up choosing is kind of the same. I'm like,
Right. And it's good. Because you'll have access to better, but then you still have the willpower to choose better. You still have to choose better. And it may feel more comfortable to choose what your body is like used to choosing or like your norm, you know?
Yeah.
And it's almost out of your comfort zone, at least for me. Like it was out of my comfort zone to actually like see that I had the option of choosing the better guy and then choosing the better guy because for whatever reason, the better guy at one point in my life, not anymore, but like years ago when I was still on, I mean, I'm still on the journey, but you know.
Yeah.
It was almost like I didn't want to choose the better guy because I wanted to stay in the comfortability of the lower vibration because to elevate, it's uncomfortable. And to, you know, to put yourself and to hold yourself accountable is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's always the best option.
Yes.
You know?
Okay. And this is good, right? Because sometimes our relationships can have a direct correlation with how we were raised. Yeah. So I want to go back to your childhood.
Oh, let's go.
You know, so where are you from?
So I am from, I was born in Queens, but raised in Brooklyn, New York by my Haitian family.
Okay.
So, I'm from New York.
Okay. And we both Haitian. We got some Haitian, and, you know.
I'm talking about my Haitian sister.
Some Haitian energy. I just learned more about my lineage. I would say probably 2 years ago, my cousin texted me and sent me all the information. And my great-grandmother is from Haiti. And I was like, okay, I knew it was something different about
like,
me.
I got some kind of flavor, but like, where's it coming from? Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, I know I'm just not Black.
Right.
So that's good. I really do enjoy that. Have you been to Haiti?
I have not. And,
Okay.
growing up, everyone was like, it's dangerous and it's stuff like that. So it was never a thing where I even considered going. But I would love to, though.
Yeah.
I would love to. Just to experience, because I was raised by my Haitian grandma, but
Yeah.
I'm like Americanized super. I barely
sure.
speak Creole. So I would love to go back and just to see like where my family came from, you know?
Right. Yes. So how was your family dynamics? Did you grow with your mother and father in the household? Like, how was that?
So I'm so grateful that I had both of my parents present.
Okay.
I will say I spent majority of my time with my grandmother because both of my parents worked a lot, and my grandmother was kind of like a second mom for me, you know? But I will say though, and thank you for asking, the dynamics were a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A nice intentional word. The dynamic was, I'm having a hard time finding words, so I'm just gonna say not the best.
Okay.
But also I acknowledge how me having to experience certain things in my childhood was necessary for me to be the person I am now. Because I have this thing where it's just like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm like sounding like a victim of any kind, you know? But I definitely seen like the men in my life just not treat women well at all, you know? And so I seen my mom not get treated well. I seen my brother's mom not get treated well. I seen my grandmothers on both sides not get treated well, you know?
And what do that, like, give me some visuals of like, how were the women not treated well?
So for me, what I experienced was a lot of verbal abuse and just saying nasty things that I will not say here, but like things that you should never say to anyone, like honestly, you know? But that was a norm for me, and I didn't realize how bad it was because, you know, I was a kid, you know, but I seen a lot of yelling, a lot of arguments, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cursing, a lot of calling, you know, out of the names and things like that.
Yeah.
And so,
was it out of like just anger? They wasn't, you know, communicating the best, or did you see good times too? Was it like,
and thank
you
for
know,
saying that.
yeah.
Because you know what, I experienced good times in my childhood, you know, and actually, I could remember there was a few times where we had barbecues in my backyard, and my grandmother and my grandfather would be dancing, and that was like was love. You know what I'm saying? So I don't also want to just hyper focus on the negative, but it's also, you know, like emotionally charged moments just stick in your nervous system.
Yes.
So it's the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And those are sometimes the more profound things too. So I definitely understand that.
And there was definitely a point in my life where I was seeing the men that I was attracting, but now at this point I have awareness, and I was kind of upset and bitter because I'm like, damn, like I'm attracting this because I seen a norm of women being treated like this, and I seen a norm of men treating women like this. And so I just attracted what I was molded to be, how I was programmed to be. I attracted that into my reality.
Did you also see yourself behave in some ways? Like your parents?
Absolutely, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
I think that's one of the like, that's a moment of awakening, right? When you're like growing up, you're like, I don't know why they talk to each other like this. And you don't like, and you probably even told yourself, I would never do that.
Right. Yo, no, seriously. It was like, how I did this.
No, the story of my life, I'm like, oh my God, I am them. Yeah.
Yo, it's powerful. It's so powerful. It's like, your norms, what you see, because it molds you to be a certain way until you have awareness that, oh, wait, hold on, I could raise myself. So now, okay, but now how do I even raise myself? You know, how do I create new norms in my nervous system?
Yep.
New norms and just the way I respond to life, the way I perceive life, you know?
Yes.
And it's a journey.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow. I think that's so important because I just recently had that awakening moment where I'm like, wow, I do have qualities from my parents that I don't like about myself. Yeah. And I know where I got it from. You know what I'm saying? So now trying to break those, you know, generational habits is hard, right? Because now you have to figure out, okay, I know where it came from. How do I heal this? And then how do I also implement steps to make sure that I'm on the right path to breaking it? So what were some of the steps you took to unbreak some of those generational habits?
You know, the first thing and probably the most profound thing that I did for myself was I secluded myself a lot early on because I was in a space where I'm like having these thoughts and revelations, and I'm realizing that like, wow, like the law of attraction and like vibration, like being vibrational matches. And like I had a moment where I'm like, yo, this is amazing information I want to share with everybody. And everybody's like, you're sounding like a nutcase type of vibe. And so that put me into my first hermit mode, where I was just like very to myself, and I like secluded myself and I closed myself off. And I really, in that seclusion time, I was so consistent, like, and I would spend probably like 3 hours before talking to anyone, before being on my phone, in meditation, in doing my visualization, saying my affirmations, journaling. And I did that so consistently every day, steadfast, 4 years. And I still do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so like now the version of me is a byproduct of that work that I did. But I did that work when I was super broke, when I had a negative balance in my account. And I just knew that the only thing I had in that moment, and this was during COVID time too. So I was a makeup artist at the time, no clients, no money coming in. And so that also offered me hella time, you know?
Right.
And so I always knew though that even though I wasn't seeing certain things in my tangible reality, in my bank account, in my relationships, that I just had to keep going with that inner work. I had to keep going with my mindfulness. Like that was my saving grace. That saves me so much, you know? So, and that's why you see me with like the affirmation station and things like that, because affirmations, like, and I always be telling everybody, when you speak, the words you're saying will start to give you evidence of what you're saying to be true, you know? And it may even start with just how you start to perceive your life. And that's how the words, the energy of your words is giving you evidence of it becoming tangible.
Yeah.
That everything you say. That's why even like jokes, like certain jokes I don't even find funny. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
words have power.
Words are so powerful.
Yes. And you hit a very important part of the journey, right? To becoming the best version of yourself. Yeah. It requires isolation. And sometimes isolation can feel like loneliness. And in today's world, it's hard for people to be alone, right? How did you deal with that? The being alone and not talking to anyone and staying in your environment and cultivating a space for you to feel safe to express and to reflect. So how do you do that?
So I had a space. So keep in mind, this space of me being secluded and in hermit mode, I was living in a packed ass house with family. So I still had physical energy around me, but I will say vibrationally, I wasn't talking to a lot of people. I wasn't sharing my journey, especially because at the time my journey was being like criticized in non-intentional ways. But that's just from ignorance. Nobody, you know, if you don't know, then you can't speak about it with intention or, you know.
Yeah.
So what I did, I wasn't going out much with my friends. And I wasn't talking to a lot of people. I was talking to God and myself a lot, and the God within me a lot, like a lot. And I spent a lot of time seeking wisdom from leaders on the internet. And so I was just like deep diving so many people, so many healers and spiritualists, mindset coaches, like binging their content for like years, because I really needed something outside of my environment. Like I'm the oldest daughter, I'm the oldest cousin, so I didn't have like a big sister to be like, I want to be like her. So I had to like go on the internet and like find those energies and then like see how I could adopt the traits that I resonated with into my own state of being. And so I would do that like in my room, I would be in my room a lot too. Like I wouldn't be around people, you know? And I would just like find those leaders and like,
wow.
Yeah, make them my family. Like they are my family. They don't even know me yet.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah. And I think that's I think it's really cool for you to be in a household full of people and you're making a change that nobody in your household is on with you. You're on this you're in this by yourself. And then sometimes too, when you're changing, people looking at you like, oh, what she got going on? Like somebody I know, they went raw and their parents were saying like, oh, you a rabbit now? You only eating?
Sidebar. I went on a raw alkaline vegan cleanse. Doctor said be inspired for 3 months, cleanse my whole entire gut. And everyone in my family was like, are you a rabbit? Literally. So it's so funny that you said that. They would like wave chicken drumsticks in my face. No, where's the support? Like,
yes. I think that's every hero's journey. You're going to be criticized by the people you love the most because they don't know. Yeah. And you're doing something totally different. Right. And then, over time, as they see you evolve and become the person you are, now they like, put some respect on my name because I'm Shariya Wise.
Thank you kindly. Yes. And it's so funny. Like a lot of people in my family are now awakened because of me. And it's not to toot my own horn, but like I was so on this journey for so long by myself. And now like my mom even is getting into like the leaders that she's resonating with. She's like, yo, you said this years ago. I said, I know. But it's cool. It's cool. Everyone comes to certain awarenesses in perfect time. Every time.
Perfect time. Yes, girl. Wow. I hope you all are taking away some really good tips and tools that will help you on your journey because, becoming the best version of yourself is not going to be pretty all the time, right? We're going to face these challenging moments that will make us feel like we're the black sheep.
For real.
And being a black sheep is not easy, right? You're going against the norm. It's kind of like going vegan and then you go to your family cookout.
I did that before,
Nothing here is for me. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, make sure we're empowered enough within ourselves to make sure they don't influence our decisions and bring us back down to their level. And more so we have more energy to actually uplift them. And then they go come back to you. It's going to be a full circle moment.
And you know what is so empowering for me? Just knowing because I feel like a lot of times with, like you said, the black sheep, right? A lot of times that journey is like so difficult, especially like when you don't even realize that you're on the journey yet, and it's so difficult. But I think it's so powerful as women, especially because I think a lot of times too, we think that DNA gets passed down generationally, but like no, like there can be trauma stored in your womb, and if you do not transmute that in your own body in this lifetime, it is going to get passed down. So the fact that we can be the ones to go through that journey, do the inner work, go through all the different steps and learn these things and then heal it and transmute it in our body. It's like, we just did that for like everybody after us. To me, that is so empowering.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're literally bringing on you're bringing on new generational, what's another word? Not habits, but you're bringing on new things for the upcoming generations because you're breaking them now. And I look at that too as like being a mother, being vegan, gluten-free, having this understanding of we can create our reality and that we are powerful and everything we need is already inside of us. And being able to instill all of that in my children, I'm like, they got a head start.
Yeah. And like now it's like they get to take our healing and, then not necessarily have to go through the things that we went through to get to this state of healing, but now like they can like take that energy and like evolve the lineage even further because they don't have to take the time, the energy to transmute that heavy ass energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Those patterns.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And this is a perfect time to take a health break. Okay. So if you didn't know, I have a manufacturing company. So I manufacture health food products. And I supply them to different stores, and I also sell online. So I got you a gift.
Thank you.
Okay, so I got you something different. I know. Have you had sea moss before?
Of course.
Okay, so these are sea moss gummies, y'all. I got some sea moss gummies.
I'm excited.
They are dehydrated, so you still get all of the nutrients of the sea moss. and they're flavored with fruit. So I think it's a papaya kind of here, and passion fruit and a wild berry. So go ahead, you can give them a try.
I'm gonna give it a try right now.
Let the people know how it tastes. Okay, they have a coating of coconut sugar on the top of them.
And it's so funny because I don't even like coconut. Mm-hmm. And I like these.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like healthy candy.
It is.
I love these. You know what's so funny? Do you have an affiliate program? Sidebar.
I can create one.
Girl, I would love to be an affiliate because for my TikTok platform, we are wellness girlies over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Feature these on the next Wellness Wednesday.
There we go.
I love these. Thank you.
Yep, and they're so convenient. You traveling, you know, we're in Atlanta, you got to go back home, so they're airport friendly, and also, you know, temperature. They're not gonna melt if you keep them in a hot car or in a suitcase. So, yeah, I'm glad you like them.
I do. Thank you so much.
So let's go on with this conversation because I'm enjoying it. And if you all are enjoying this conversation, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Every subscriber counts. Every minute watch counts. So thank you all for tuning in. Now let's get back to it. So what does health and wellness mean to you?
You know, it is the most cliche thing. But health is wealth. You know, I had the privilege of taking care of my grandmother in her later years of life. And I saw all the medicine she had to take. And I knew that with every pharmaceutical pill or supplement that she would take, it was masking the symptoms of something and creating a problem that then needed masking from another pharmaceutical. And it was a never-ending cycle. And it really broke my heart, too.
Yeah.
You know? And that really pushed me to learn how to use Earth. Listen, Earth, which camera am I looking at?
This your camera
Earth
right here.
gives you everything you need, but what we need, especially in America, is knowledge, you know? We need to have the knowledge of what herbs can help us with what. And so for me, health and wellness is everything. Money don't matter. Like, okay, we love money, money loves us. Let's, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're not well, there was a few months ago, I had a kidney infection, and it was the most painful thing ever. And in that moment, the work I had did not matter. You know what I'm saying? The money I was making did not matter. I didn't even care about my bills. I wanted to be well, you know? And so for me, like, health and wellness is top priority, you know? I think it's so important, like, make sure, like, I take CMOS every day. So this is in perfect alignment, y'all. And it's good, too, Cameron. It's good, too. This isn't perfect alignment, but, you know, like, I take my black seed, my CMOS every day. I'm on to Sheila G. If y'all follow me on TikTok, y'all already know about Sheila G. Health and wellness is literally everything to me. And I really, and I'm still learning too, you know, because I wasn't necessarily molded to, I mean, okay, I was raised by my Haitian grandma, so there's certain holistic remedies that are just naturally instilled within me, but there's a whole lot more for me to learn because there's a whole lot of herbs out there. There's a whole lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Symptoms, and not necessarily symptoms, but ailments in our bodies that can be remedied and healed with herbs, you know? And so it's so important for me. It's like everything for me. And it's almost like when I have a moment in my body where I realize, hold on, like something feels a little weird. It's like, do I want to feel weird? No, but it's almost exciting because now I get to learn what herb is going to help me. And once I have the knowledge, I have the knowledge forever. Once it's in my medicine cabinet is my herb cabinet. And once it's there forever. You know what I'm saying? So literally, it's so important to me. It is so, so, so important to me. That's why I was even like, when I was looking at your page and I saw that you were vegan, like I was like so interested in just like learning, like, yo, like, cause I asked her prior to our conversation here, like, how long has she been vegan and things like that? Because I think it's so, just so important. What inspired you to like really want to explore a vegan lifestyle?
Yeah, my inspiration was, I mean, the deeper, when I really look back on it and reflect, the most important thing for me is making sure I'm healthy because I want to live longer.
Period.
And at first, I thought it was these other moments in life, like, watching What the Health is what initiated the veganism.
Yeah.
But when I really think about like, why am I doing this? It's because I want to live a long, healthy life. And it's due to both my parents passed away from preventable diseases.
Wow.
So it's like if they knew this information, they could have lived longer.
I feel it.
So it's like, wow, so that was really a fear of mine, and I didn't even know it was there. And so I really dove deep inside myself and be like, I don't want to die early.
Yeah.
It's a lot of life. My mom passed away at 26.
Wow.
My father passed away at 45.
Wow.
Young.
Yeah.
So when I hit 26, and it was my golden birthday, August 26, so I turned 26,
Yeah.
and she passed away at 26. So I'm like, this is a milestone. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because some people don't make it, right?
Absolutely.
So that was really like, when I think about it, that's the thing that really is helping me stay vegan and enjoy this lifestyle because I want to be healthy, y'all.
Yeah. I
Yes.
feel that.
So what were some of the herbs that helped you on your journey?
One very powerful herb, the first one that comes to mind, because I used to have really bad acne, really bad eczema, and alopecia, right? And so with me just learning that these are all skin conditions, of course, now I'm like, what herbs are gonna help me with my skin? One, so powerful is people be saying that I pronounce this wrong, but I'm gonna say how I say it. Sarsaparilla. It's a bark, and it's really, really, really rich in iron. And I love sauce, and like I take it quite often, and I really, really love that because, and it's like when I took the herb, the first time I took sarsaparilla, I took it with the intention of healing my skin. And I was taking it and I was taking it consistently, but not necessarily looking like, did the eczema go away? I was just taking it and doing my part. And then I had a moment, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't deal with alopecia anymore. I haven't had eczema in years. And thankfully, like, we have a little like breakout up here, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not like acne, anymore. And I was just like, yo, this ish works.
Yes.
And so that was the first one that comes to mind. But black seed was also a really big thing. That thymoquinone, is great for the anti-inflammatory. Of course, sea moss. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and bitters. You ever tried bitters? Neem?
I have.
But it's so good for it. Like it cleanses your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do a neem and turmeric. So you can make these like balls where you can use some turmeric powder and some neem powder, and then you kind of like, they'll squish it up, they'll turn to like a clay.
Oh, okay.
If you add a little water in there, and then I just kind of pop them in. It's an Indian tradition.
Okay.
It's an Indian technique that I learned from them, where they say if you take it first thing in the morning, it will help, like, it goes right to your cells. And so you're doing like your yoga practice or your meditation, you just feel more aligned and your cells are more open. So
I love that. You take that every day?
I'm trying to get on a regimen.
Oh, okay. No, I feel it.
But I do take it when I need to take it, because your body will call for it.
Absolutely.
But I do definitely take the sea moss every day. I drink tea. I'm right now really big into blending up my fruits and vegetables in a blender and drinking that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many things. And as I'm looking at you, I'm seeing how clear your skin is. And I'm like, okay. Skin is glowing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yours is glowing too.
Thank you. And as women, our skin is so important, right? Because we can mask it with makeup.
Yes.
And this is good. It brings me to a moment in time where I was in college, and I used to wear wigs, weaves, makeup, like. And when you get home and you about to take your hair down or do whatever, you feel like a totally different person.
Yeah.
It's like you're masking the real you with all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a shift in your life where you went from like...
I love this question.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know, but for 9.5 whole years, I was a professional makeup artist. And so I had my own clientele, but the end of my career, I worked for Mac.
Okay.
And so when you work for Mac, you have to wear heavy makeup every day, you know? And that, my skin, it wasn't given. And I definitely feel you on feeling like you're wearing a mask, you know, because it's like you take your makeup off and it's just like, it's like a filter you put on your face.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like now I'm bare.
Yeah,
like,
it's
now
just like,
I'm naked.
you know?
Yeah.
And so I definitely had that moment. It's because I started wearing makeup just because it made me feel good until I realized that, one, I had to do it for my job, but it does almost like, it puts a mask on over you. And then so I had this persona of myself when I would have the makeup on. And then it's almost like I would like timid a little bit, come into a little bit of a shell when the makeup would be off, you know? And so I definitely experienced that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you talked a lot about some of the teachers and mentors that helped you on your journey. Yeah. So, share some of those mentors or any books you might have read or movies you watched that inspired you.
Yeah. So off the top of my head, a book that helped me so much is The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. Forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. And that book was really, and I have to read it again actually, but that book was really, really inspiring for me because he uses a term called being unfuckwithable, meaning that despite whatever happens in your tangible reality, you have so much peace in the knowing that everything is okay. One, everything is happening for my best and highest good. So if everything is happening for my best and highest good, even if it feels unfavorable, this is happening for my best and highest good. So I'm going to feel safety in this present moment because I'm safe, you know? And so that is one very powerful book. But we also have The Four Agreements. What's it's right on the top of my head? Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Oh, is that Napoleon Hill? Did I just? Anyway, Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And leaders for me, the first ever leader that just like resonated with me, especially because I needed content that wasn't so like strong in the spiritual because I wasn't really, I was still very molded by society. And so there was still a little bit of fear in my vibration when starting and just being aware that, oh wait, I'm on a spiritual journey. I'm having a spiritual awakening. And I really feel like Ralph Smart really gave perfect bite-sized content that really helped initiated me into more awareness, you know? But then there was a moment in time where I just needed like a big sister energy and I like binged B. Simone's content. Her journey was always super inspiring for me. So B. Simone, and I also just love how authentic she is on her journey and her growth and evolution. So she was definitely someone early on where I just like when I needed an intentional inspiration, and I was gonna say an escape, but it wasn't necessarily an escape because I was still in my reality. But yeah, B. Simone was very, very pivotal on my journey. And I know there's like so many other people.
Yeah.
You know.
They'll come.
It'll come for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned meditating, waking up and spending before you hop on the phone, before you talk to anyone, you're dedicating time to self.
Yeah.
And one of those things you mentioned were meditation. So how does meditation feel to you? Because I know for me, when I go into my meditation, I just feel like just so at ease, so in flow, so at peace. And I kind of really forget about everything.
Yeah, I love that question because for me, I go into meditation with the intent of viewing where I'm at vibrationally. So I'm not necessarily going in to control my thoughts and mind you, we could do that with meditation, but when I go into my meditation initially, I really just like to see where am I vibrationally? Where are my thoughts focused on? Where are they resting right now? Is that desirable for me? Okay, so if it's not desirable for me, then I will then put some more intention and focus on what I do want to think about, right? But I hold a lot of grace with myself. Like, sidebar, I really feel like we have every version of ourselves in ourselves. I don't care how grown, how tall, how adult we are. We have every version of ourselves within ourselves. And so if there's a version of me that may be thinking a thought that may not be in alignment with this version of myself that I created, I consciously know that a version of me created that. And I'm not about to yell at a child. So I'm not going to yell or be hard or mean to myself, because this thought, this feeling is stemming from an inner child version of myself. So back to meditation, when I have a moment where I'm just being the observer and I'm seeing where I am vibrationally, and I have grace in myself. I'll be like, oh, you here? Okay, cool. Okay, wait. Sometimes I may ask, why are we here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being honest with myself. But I don't allow myself to stay there. And so at that point, that's when the visualization part of the meditation will come in, and I'll see myself how I truly desire to be and to feel more so, you know, because I think we always want to be a certain way, but it's really good to feel a certain way, you know?
And I wanna go more into that visualization. Like, I want you to give me a little bit. I don't know your whole vision, but give me a little bit of, like, what are you envisioning when you close your eyes? What are you seeing?
So, what I'll see is myself. And it's so funny because I've actually been evolving how I visualize. I used to see myself in a space where I'm like wearing fancy clothes, and I'm doing really expensive, extravagant things. But one thing that I've been doing recently is actually envisioning myself literally exactly where I am, how I'm looking. I don't, sometimes I may like not wash my face or even brush my teeth before I visualize. I will visualize myself presently having the vibrations that I desire. So if I'm about to visualize right now. So I will say out loud, like, I see myself with X amount of dollars in my bank account. And I will see myself in this present moment with what I'm wearing. That's important for me, seeing what I'm wearing right now. And I'll visualize me taking my phone out, just like checking my accounts, but now, where I'm at now,
Right.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've been implementing with my visualizations. Plenty.
Yes.
Plenty.
I like that.
Thank you.
I really do. Because you're saying, like, okay, I don't have to have all of this to have
exactly
what I want.
I don't have to be in a high-rise apartment, because I also want to get my subconscious, because our subconscious don't know the difference. But sometimes, like, we'll have that little default in our mind that may be like, you're not there though. You know what I'm saying? But my mind cannot tell me that I'm not here right now, because I am here right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see myself in my home, where I'm at, contacting my man, or, and like sending a loving message to my man who I don't have yet, but you know what I'm saying? Like sending that message to him, and like being in a super fulfilled present state of being. Like, because right now, in this present moment, I desire to feel fulfillment. And of course, we're working towards the future. You know what I'm saying? We're always working towards the fulfillment of the future. But right now, I am like so fulfilled. And I want to remind myself that in this present moment, I am fulfilled. And in this present moment, I have everything I need to have and create even more fulfillment in the future, So that's been the practice recently.
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Really do.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we need that ability to be present, because it's harder and harder and harder these days to be present, to be where you are at. And typically, I feel like us as people, I heard a really interesting thing about COVID, right? And when you really look at it from the perspective of, we were isolated from each other for 2 years. And the only thing that connected us was the phones. And so then now we have a habit. They really put us in a position to be addicted to the phones, to want to escape, to be somewhere else that we're not.
Right.
And then you think about, wow, the metaverse and how that will eventually, the same thing. We won't be present in this space we're in now. We're we're in a whole different world with some goggles on. You know?
OD.
You know what I'm saying? Like
no facts.
escaping
Yeah.
and not realizing the power that we have now presently and that's already in us. We don't have to go anywhere outside of us
Right.
to feel what we really need to feel, because we're all trying to feel the same feeling. We all want to feel fulfilled.
Yes.
We all want to feel happy. And it don't start from the outside. It start from the inside. It start from being connected with that inner self and having that conversation and coming to some realizations in life that, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's a tough conversation sometimes, but we got to face that. And we got to understand that, hey, whatever I need is already inside of me.
Absolutely.
I just got to connect with it.
Yes. Yeah. Like give yourself
Yes.
the time and space, but also like having the conscious knowing is so important that I actually do have everything I need inside of me. In this present moment, I have everything I need to be the absolute best version of myself presently, you know? So absolutely. Yes.
So I am enjoying this conversation, y'all.
Yes,
So
me
if you are
too.
to, just reminding y'all, make sure you follow Shariya Wise, you know, on every platform at Shariya Wise.
Shariya Wise,
Yes.
SHARIYAWISE on all your favorite social media platforms and music streaming platforms.
Hey, because she a bad bitch.
Even when you don't feel it, you still the bad
Hey.
bitch. Yes.
And that was the first song I heard, and I did not know it was you. And then so when I'm listening to you, I'm like, oh, I already knew of you and didn't know it. And that song is very empowering.
Thank
Right?
you.
Us as women, we need that. We need the empowerment of we got it. We got it going on.
absolutely.
You know, in a very powerful, in a very classy way, right? Because today hip hop with women is giving very
Yeah, it's
getting-
very sexualized.
Yes.
As it's always been, I feel like. I mean, and it is true. Sex sells. And I don't necessarily think that, because I am a high vibrational artist, sex isn't low vibrational. Let's start there, you know? But it's definitely a norm in the rap, the female rap game, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful to offer the same kind of vibe, but also like conscious. Listen to them lyrics, y'all.
Yes.
Consciousness, awareness, you know, self-discovery, introspection is so important to me. Like, yo, for real.
And it's coming from a pure place.
Yeah.
And you can feel that in your music
Thank
when you
you.
listen to it. It's like she not just, you know what I'm saying, making this up.
Yeah.
She's living in this.
Yo.
This is who she is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you for your music, because
Thank you.
it's definitely it touched a lot of people. And I want to read some of the comments.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay.
Yes, let's.
Okay, so on your YouTube channel, after listening to I'm a Bad Bitch, right? I literally got chills listening to this. Yes, those vibrations. This is my new anthem. I listen to this every morning before I get out of bed since I found this song. Thank you, Queen. Yes, the Queen is back with a banger.
Yes.
And then another one reads, "This is saving me and brought me out the darkness. Thank you." So you're like literally touching people in a way that, like, come on, it speaks for itself.
Thank you so
right?
much.
So thank you. And trust me, I'm feeling the
I'm kind of emotional. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
So, you know, we got to give you your props while you here.
I
And I'm
receive it.
so
Thank
thankful for you coming on to Holistic Conversations.
Thank you for giving me a space to just have a great, fruitful, holistic conversation.
Yes. And before we get out of here, I ask every guest one last question. What is one piece of advice you would like to share to the world? I know it's heavy, so we
You know, let me
allowing, you know, whatever comes, let it flow.
Because I'm not sure if I said it already, but I do want to reiterate that heaven on earth is a thing, because heaven is a perception, right? And how we allow ourselves to perceive the heaven that is around us is by programming the radio that is our mind. Literally, your mind is a radio, and every day it is so important. It is so imperative to tune your mind to the frequency in which you choose to live that day. So mindfulness, saying your affirmations, doing your journaling, doing your meditations, even if it's listening to high vibrational music, but doing those intentional mindful actions that are reprogramming your subconscious norms is so important on the journey of experiencing and perceiving heaven on earth, if that is something that you desire to perceive. But you do have everything you need right now. You have everything you need right now. Everything is AI. Everything is an algorithm. Your mind is also an algorithm. So tune your mind every day to the frequency that you want to live, that you want to vibrate, and feel it. Feeling is more important than having, because you can never have it if you don't feel it. So just do your best to feel it every day. We're going to leave it there, girl.
Yes, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again
Thank
for coming
you.
on. This was so beautiful.
Yes, I feel so grateful.
Yes. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Wholistic Conversations.
Yes.
And I will catch you all on the next episode. Peace.